Welcome to 𝗩𝗲𝗹𝗁𝘁𝗀𝗱.com, where we teach you all about gardening in the great indoors. If you'd like to support my show and get help growing your houseplants, check out my Patreon below. Today we have a plant care video for this beauty known as Xanthosoma lindenii magnificum. It's also known as Caladium lindenii, which is the current accepted name. The plant is often sold with a variety of names because it has been reclassified several times as botanists have tried to classify the plant. Whatever name that you find it with, however, it's worth growing in your indoor garden. As you can see, the plant has beautiful large leaves with this gorgeous white veining that is just so eye-catching. The plant can grow 2 to 3 feet tall indoors and just as wide, and the leaves can range as long as 15 inches. Xanthosoma is native to Colombia, where it will grow even larger outdoors. Though the plant is stunning and looks very exotic, as you can see, the good news is that it's fairly easy to grow if you keep the following growing tips in mind. Okay, so lighting. For best growth and to maintain the beautiful coloring in this plant, give Xanthosoma bright indirect light. They can be grown in medium light, but won't be as vibrant and can get leggy if there isn't sufficient lighting. Place the plant in an area that gets good lighting, such as in front of an unobstructed eastern window. Avoid placing the plant too close to windows with bright light, such as southern or western windows, as the leaves can easily burn. I do have videos on what burn looks like on houseplants, which I will link below, as well as under any other videos I mention in this video. Use window coverings to filter the light in those windows that have a lot of bright light coming through them, or place the plant 3 to 4 feet away from the window to prevent that burning. Northern windows don't provide enough light. If you lack light in your home, these plants also do really well under full spectrum lighting. Okay, so watering for Xanthosoma. Watering. Be careful to not overwater Xanthosoma, as the plant is susceptible to root rot. This is especially a problem during short winter days. Water when the moisture meter inserted 1/3 of the way into the pot reads 3 or just 4 heading towards 3. If you are in doubt about watering, it's best to wait to water. The plant will show you when it's thirsty. The leaves will begin to droop slightly, which is known as flagging. I have a video on flagging which I'll link below. If the soil is wet and continue to stay wet and the leaves are drooping, that is a sign of root rot, unfortunately. The plants will require less water during fall and winter months and very little water during dormancy, which I will talk about later. When you do water the plant, make sure to use warm water, as you want to use with all of your houseplants. And I would suggest with this plant to avoid leaf tip burns, brown leaf tips and brown leaf edges, to use filtered water, filtered or reverse osmosis water. The plant is susceptible to nutrients in the water, such as fluoride and chlorine. So using the filtered water is a good way to avoid that and to have nice, healthy, vibrant foliage on your Xanthosoma. So fertilizing this beauty. Fertilize Caladium lindenii monthly, spring through summer, with an organic fertilizer. Chemical fertilizers are way too harsh for this plant and many houseplants, and I generally don't recommend them. Don't fertilize in the fall and winter months when the plant slows down growth. Humidity. Xanthosoma requires fairly high humidity to remain healthy and vibrant looking. The ideal range is 50 to 65% humidity. Check with a hygrometer to see what the humidity level is in your home. And I have videos on using hygrometers and how great they are. If it is lower than that 50% threshold, do what you can to raise the humidity level. This can be done with pebble trays, misting, using a humidifier, and grouping plants as well. Check out my humidity playlist for further ideas on how to get this plant more humidified and happier. Okay, so temperature. Given their natural habitat in Colombia, Xanthosoma likes warm conditions. The plant does well between 65 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Much lower temperatures will cause the plant to enter dormancy. Keep the plants away from heating and air conditioning vents as well, because those will also dry out the air around the plant and cause low humidity. So you may think, oh, I'll solve the problem of getting my plant warmed up by putting it in front of a forced air conditioning or forced air heater, but that won't help. It actually hinder because it's going to dry out the air. So it's kind of a catch-22 there. So keep it in a warm area, but away from the air blowing on it from the vents. Okay, dormancy. Like other caladiums and alocasias, if the temperature or light levels decrease significantly in your home for your plant, the plant is going to lose its leaves and enter dormancy for a time. If this occurs, don't panic. It's actually a natural process for the plant. When the plant enters dormancy, which may occur in the cold months of the year, move the plant to a cool, dry area with or without light. It doesn't matter when it's dormant. Water very sparingly during this time, just a teeny bit every once in a while. After 2 to 3 months, you will see new shoots sprouting from the soil, which means that the plant has moved out of dormancy, is coming out of dormancy. At that point, move the plant back into bright light and begin watering normally again. Before long, you'll have a lot of new growth and the plant will look like new. So I really, like I said, do encourage you to not panic. This is normal. This is a very normal process that happens. Actually, one of my viewers did ask about this a while back because her plant had gone into dormancy, and I assured her that the plant was going to be just fine and to do what I just suggested to you, and everything would be good. So you can do the same. And I am looking for her name so I can mention when she was asking about that. And I believe also just that her plant was not looking good is her name is Amanda. So this is answering these questions for Amanda as well as all of you. Okay, so the next thing to consider with your Xanthosoma is repotting. The plant should be repotted when it has surpassed my rule of thumb of 2/3 plant on top to 1/3 pot below. You want to repot spring through mid-summer. Use a high-quality organic potting soil that is rich yet well-draining. I'll put a link below for the potting soil that I really like for this plant and for a lot of house plants, and as well as my 2/3, 1/3 videos as well. Okay, pruning this plant. This plant requires very little pruning. Simply clip off old leaves at the base of the plant, being careful not to cut into the stem of the plant. That's all you really need to do with this plant. Pests and diseases. Root rot can occur if you overwater this plant as mentioned. As for pests, you may occasionally see mealybugs or scale. Treat mealybugs and scale with isopropyl alcohol 91% to remove them, and then treat with neem oil to kill off eggs and to prevent them from hatching and into new adults on your plants. So there you go with how to keep Xanthosoma lindenii or lindenii or Caladium lindenii happy and healthy in your indoor garden. Thank you for stopping by today. Please leave any comments about any indoor gardening tutorials you'd like to see. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And please check the bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos are released.